Hello, so this is the motorhome we have rented here from the nice people at Cruise America. Let me show you inside. When we enter, we have this small dinette table that also turns into a bed. Let me close the door behind me. As you can see, I have the AC on, so we keep the house nice and cool and noisy. It's a regular cabin. And we also have a bed on the top here. Plenty of storage space on both sides. And here's our kitchen with its range and microwave convection oven and the sink and the main bed. And here is our refrigerator. As you can see, very spacious with a freezer. Here's a closet. And here is the sink, and that's me. And over here we have the bathroom with the shower and the skylights. It's pretty cool. And right here behind me there's a medicine cabinet. So there we are. Here's our RV. We'll see you again from the road. New York City, Arctic Circle, Dusseldorf, Mount McKinley, Madrid, Fairbanks, Alaska. Hello everybody. Today we are driving across America, south to north, and back eventually. We depart from Miami, Florida, and our final destination is Cedar Point Amusement Park in Sandusky, Ohio. Once in a while, however, we take a break from boring I-95 in favor of a more scenic ride like this one. Here we are at Delray Beach, located between Boca Raton and famous Palm Beach. Driving on the A1A alongside the ocean, we decide to park for a few minutes to stretch our legs and check out the beach. We continue driving north into the town of Gulfstream, which is the 11th highest income place in the United States. Pretty cool, huh? By the time we reach Boynton Beach, we realize that we'll never make it if we continue on the scenic route. So we go back on 995 to pick up some speed. We are making a very quick pit stop here on the side of I-95. This is the most boring part of I-95 right after Jupiter, between Jupiter and Melbourne. There's nothing at all. Going back inside. We go back on the scenic route by Melbourne, with the intention of going up to Cocoa Beach and Port Canaveral. Melbourne Beach, however, there's really nothing to see here. As you can see, the iPhone serves as GPS, iPod, and dash-mounted video camera. Pretty cool. North we go, towards Cocoa Beach. We even reach Port Canaveral, but we better get back on the interstate if we expect to get to Savannah tonight. We get stuck in traffic on the Dames Point Bridge, which bypasses downtown Jacksonville.
we finally make it to the Red Gate campground on the outskirts of Savannah, shortly after midnight. Okay, we're gonna spend the night here, and tomorrow we'll explore Savannah. Good night.
It's morning in Savannah, Georgia.
And I even managed to hook everything up okay. Not bad for my first time. The Red Gate campground is a nice, quiet campground a few minutes away from historic Savannah by taxi. So that's what we're gonna do. Get a cab. Our first stop is City Market, which at this time in the morning is nearly deserted, but I know it gets busy because I played here with my band for Cinco de Mayo 2007.
Mama always told me, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you got.
Savannah is famous for its lush vegetation and architecture. And these many little squares that are scattered around the city. And this is Chippewa Square, which was the set for the movie Forrest Gump. Although the famous bench was a fiberglass prop, it doesn't really exist.
It's Savannah's oldest church.
The historic district has plenty of these picturesque squares, as I said. Passing by the city hall, we finally make it to River Street. We're here because we're gonna take the lunch riverboat cruise.
We're gonna hop on the riverboat in a few minutes and cruise the Savannah River.
The food is a traditional southern style buffet, but probably too pricey for what it is. Not a great variety, really.
They were walking in the footsteps of the folks from back in that time period. They were pretty well found, except for a couple of years, but it's good enough for the river.
The Savannah River is not particularly picturesque. A lot of it is polluted, industrial in nature, except maybe for the part adjacent to River Street. There you can see the historic buildings and the Eugene Talmadge Memorial Bridge, named in honor of a former Georgia governor. An elevator takes us back to street level.
No rain, 1 mile away, hot and sunny at home. Why'd you make cry? He said.
This doesn't look like a very efficient mode of transportation, but it's probably a good exercise.
We are once again in Chippewa Square, where they shot the movie Forrest Gump.
We continue walking back across Chippewa and many other squares until we reach Forsyth Park. Will pick us up. Back on the road, we arrive to the great state of South Carolina. A few hundred more miles and we are in North Carolina, in the great city of Charlotte.
You have arrived at your destination. It is on the right.
So we've been reading this book called Road Food, which recommends several restaurants in each state, and many of them are usually casual, inexpensive fast food joints like this one, Barbecue King, in Charlotte, North Carolina, but with exceptionally good food.
Hi, how are you?
On TV too? Yeah, let me get your menu. That way you have to get out.
We are served by a very friendly elderly man who has been working at this place most of his life. While we're here, let's check out downtown Charlotte, which here is called Center City and also Uptown. We are passing by a place called the Epicenter, which is the hub of Charlotte's nightlife. As we leave Charlotte, we go across an area of thunderstorms, and let me tell you, that was a very long 3-hour drive. At some point, we entered the great state of Virginia, where we're going to spend the night.
We are in the town of Whitville, Virginia. I'm gonna stay at the Walmart Supercenter. Boondocking. That's what it's called.
It is called boondocking when you spend the night at a place other than an RV camp. This is Whitville, Virginia. The town stands in the confluence of Interstate 77 and Interstate 81 and several other U.S. highways in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And because of that, it is called the hubcap of Southwest Virginia. Whitville was named in honor of George Wythe, the father of American jurisprudence and signer of the Declaration of Independence. We decide to take another scenic route along the beautiful countryside. After a dizzying, winding road, we make it to the Big Walker Mountain Lookout. Elevation 3,405 feet. Down we go. We get back on I-77 North as the landscape before us becomes increasingly beautiful. We are approaching the border between Virginia and West Virginia, which is this tunnel we're about to pass, the East River Mountain Tunnel. See you on the other side.
We are in West Virginia.
We take another scenic route, this time it is US 19, to see the small towns along the way. You don't really get to see much from the interstate, so this is nice. Back on I-77, also I-64 in this area, the scenery is beautiful, but we don't stay here for long because we feel compelled to explore a little more. By a town called Pax, we decide to take another scenic route. Unfortunately, on the GPS, instead of avoid interstates, I selected avoid tolls. So the device sent us on a road that I would not recommend for an RV or any other vehicle for that matter. We had some scary moments. We had a near-miss accident with a fire rescue and also with a truck pulling a boat. Some of the scenery may have been worth it. This narrow road is called Paint Creek Road, and it runs somewhat parallel to the interstate and Paint Creek. Actually, we decided to stop for a few minutes.
Beautiful little creek here in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia.
Eventually, we managed to get back on I-77.
Paint Creek.
And let me tell you, no more scenic routes today. I think I-77 is scenic enough for now. We crisscrossed Paint Creek a couple more times along the way. Soon, we reach Charleston, the state capital. To our left, the Capitol building with its golden dome. We leave the mountains behind as we approach the Silver Memorial Bridge, spanning the Ohio River, and arrive to the great state of Ohio. We've got one more scheduled stop before we reach Cedar Point in Sandusky. We are going to stop at another Road Foods recommended restaurant, Swenson's Drive-In in Akron, Ohio.
You have arrived at your destination. It is on the left.
Amazing burgers, let me tell you. We had one called the Galley Boys Double Cheeseburger, and let me tell you, you should try it too if you ever pass by Akron, Ohio. Ironically, the McDonald's across the street seemed to be busier. A shame since Swenson's has been there since 1934. We arrived to Cedar Point at sunset, and that's all we have for you today. In the last 20 minutes, we've driven across America, south to north. I hope you have enjoyed our road trip and hope you stick around for the return trip, coming soon. Until then, thank you so much for watching and enjoy your travels.